In the not-so-distant future, humanity is wiped out by a brutal war that lasts only 60 terrifying minutes. This nightmare becomes known as the 60-minute war, a disaster so catastrophic that billions perish and the Earth's crust is torn apart. Continents shift, the world map changes forever, and life as we know it is erased. Centuries later, the survivors create massive, moving machines known as traction cities, gigantic urban beasts driven by colossal engines. But instead of learning from the past, people repeat their old mistakes. Now, the big cities hunt smaller ones to steal their resources and devour their food supplies. One day, the mighty predator city London readies for its next big chase. A swarm of smaller cities huddle together, hoping to escape. Watching from afar, a mysterious woman in a mask Hester spots London closing in. She dashes toward a smaller mining town as panic sets in. But one unfortunate city, Salthaken, suffers engine failure and can't escape in time. Back in London, Mayor Magnus coldly supervises the attack. It doesn't take long. Salthaken is snatched up effortlessly by the monstrous city. Meanwhile, in the heart of London, a young historian named Tom arrives late to the museum, again. He is assigned to assist a curious young woman named Catherine in her research about the terrifying 60-minute war. Tom leads her into his cluttered office, where she gazes in awe at ancient treasures, old phones, forgotten cameras, relics of a world long gone. Tom plays a video for her footage of a quantum weapon called Medusa, a monstrous energy device capable of wiping out entire cities in seconds. The devastation is jaw-dropping. He tells her that very few written records of the war still exist, but it's believed that thousands of weapons like Medusa once roamed the Earth. Then he shows her a broken, crash-driver device built to shut Medusa down and stop it from destroying everything. With a heavy tone, he reveals his secret stash of dangerous, weapon-grade tech that he's been hiding. Also, he can one day destroy it before someone misuses it. Outside the room, a man named Herbert secretly watches Tom. Later, he mocks Tom's low birth and cruelly strips him of his duty to assist Catherine. But Tom doesn't let the insult stop him. He decides to visit the newly captured city, hoping it might hold something valuable. Curious, Catherine chooses to go with him. Meanwhile, the people of Salthaken are herded into London, search from head to toe for weapons or anything useful. Hester conceals a blade in her sleeve and slips past security unnoticed. Everything useless is tossed into the city's engine to be burned for fuel. Tom's new job is to save any valuable artifacts from being destroyed. That's when he spots a nearly perfect toaster headed for the flames. He rushes over and stops the workers, suggesting it should be added to the museum instead. Just then, Thaddeus, the stern head of the Guild of Historians, shows up and praises Tom for his quick thinking. Thaddeus also happens to be Catherine's father, and he knew Tom's parents. From the shadows, Hester stares at Thaddeus with blazing eyes and a heart full of fury. Her entire body trembles with rage. Later, Thaddeus comes across a dangerous fusion inverter cell hidden among the collected items. Tom quickly reminds him that all such cells were removed from the museum to avoid any chance of disaster. But Thaddeus coolly takes the cell, promising he'll dispose of it safely. With that, he walks off to speak to the freshly captured citizens from Salthaken. As the crowd shuffles forward, Tom suddenly spots Hester quietly moving through the people with a blade hidden in her hand. Alarmed, he rushes toward her to stop her. But it's too late. Hester lunges and stabs Thaddeus, yelling that it's for killing her mother. Just as she's about to strike again, Tom grabs her, revealing her face, which is marked by a deep, jagged scar. Hester shoves Tom aside and vanishes into the sea of people as panic erupts. The guards and police scramble after her, and Tom doesn't hesitate. He runs too, chasing her all the way to the edge of Salthaken, which is seconds away from being destroyed. After a wild chase, Tom finally corners her near the city's massive waste chute. Without a second thought, Hester jumps. But Tom grabs her hand just in time, trying to pull her back. Dangling over the edge, she looks him straight in the eyes and says, "Ask Thaddeus why he killed my mother, Pandora. He destroys anyone who stands in his way." Then she rips her hand free and vanishes down the chute. Moments later, Thaddeus appears alone and coldly asks what happened. Tom, still shaken, tells him that Hester claimed he murdered her mother. At that, Thaddeus's face darkens. and without warning, he shoves Tom into the chute too, saying coldly, "You've heard too much." Soon after, Catherine arrives. Thaddeus calmly tells her that Tom fell into the chute during a struggle. But Catherine spots Bevis, Tom's friend, watching everything from a distance. She wisely decides not to tell Thaddeus. Later, Catherine questions her father about the mysterious girl. Thaddeus shrugs it off, claiming not to know her. He casually suggests she might be an anti-tractionist, a rebel from a group that wants to destroy mobile cities and return to the old ways. He adds that these people are based in Shanguo, safely hidden behind the shield wall, hoarding precious resources. A scout plane is sent to search the wastelands for Tom and Hester, but the mission fails. The city leaves, assuming they didn't survive. But they did. Bruised and battered, both Tom and Hester wake up after the fall. Tom, still dazed, pleads with Hester to help him get back to London or find a trading post. Furious, she snaps at him, saying he ruined everything. She'd spent 6 long months planning that attack. Still, she grudgingly allows him to tag along. He's got nowhere else to go. Back in London, Magnus confronts Thaddeus, furious about their shrinking supplies. Thaddeus defends himself, claiming his new energy plan is crucial for London's survival. Ignoring his wounds, he returns to work and secretly gives the fusion inverter cell to his loyal scientist, Dr. Twix. Twix studies the cell and shakes her head. It's not enough. She demands more. She also warns Thaddeus about Hester and says he should eliminate her before it's too late. Then she makes a chilling suggestion: use Shrike, the terrifying resurrected cyborg bounty hunter locked up in Shmora creature who keeps repeating Hester's name like a curse. Without wasting another second, Thaddeus makes his way to the prison under the cover of night. Meanwhile, Tom and Hester are ambushed by a gang of scavengers from the south. Hester fights fiercely to protect Tom but gets wounded. Just when things seem hopeless, an elderly couple swoops in, pulling them to safety through a hidden trapdoor. The old man quietly ensures the scavengers leave, while the woman locks the hatch above them. Afterwards, the elderly couple fires up the hidden engine of their camouflage machine, blending it with the landscape as they quietly roll away. Hester tends to her wounds, gritting her teeth, while the kind woman hands them both warm tea to settle their nerves. Elsewhere, Catherine tracks down Bevis and confides in him something feels wrong. She suspects her father is lying and keeping dangerous secrets. Bevis doesn't hold back. He reveals the shocking truth. Thaddeus pushed Tom into the chute, and there's more. He whispers that Thaddeus is secretly building something inside an abandoned structure, but it's surrounded by guards and nearly impossible to get into. Catherine doesn't hesitate. Her eyes fill with fire. She tells Bevis she find a way inside and that she's not backing down. Back with Hester and Tom, the kind woman gives them a small room to rest in. As they settle in, Hester finally opens up, sharing a painful piece of her past. Her mother, Pandora, was a passionate archaeologist who adored uncovering lost technology. She once worked side by side with Thaddeus, who deeply admired her work, until she discovered something so massive, so powerful, that he murdered her to keep it secret. Before she died, Pandora handed a necklace to Hester and begged her to run. Hester tried to protect her, but Thaddeus slashed her face, leaving a scar that would never fade. She barely made it out alive. Meanwhile, Thaddeus arrives at Shmore prison and unleashes destruction. He tears the place down just to free Shrike, the monstrous resurrected bounty hunter, after confirming Shrike's one goal: to hunt and kill Hester. Back in the hidden room, Tom grows suspicious. He discovers that the couple locked the door and are now transporting them south. While searching for a way out, he uncovers a secret hatch under the floor. But Hester's wounds are too severe, she can't jump. Tom refuses to abandon her. They stay together and are soon delivered to the grim town of Rustwater Market and put up for auction like property. Hester is nearly sold when, out of nowhere, a fierce woman named Anna bursts in. She places a huge bid to save Hester, shocking the crowd, but things quickly turn. They recognize Anna. She's a wanted member of the Anti-Traction League, and there's a price on her head. The auctioneers panic and prepare to capture Anna, but she shouts for Hester and Tom to run. As Anna throws herself into battle, Hester and Tom dash through the chaos. Suddenly, Shrike appears. His glowing eyes lock onto Hester, demanding she fulfill her promise. Hester and Tom scramble onto a moving vehicle, desperate to escape, but Shrike is fast. He closes in with terrifying speed. Just in time, Anna swoops in aboard her airship, blasting at Shrike and lowering a hatch for the pair to climb aboard. Hester makes it up safely, but Tom struggles, dangling in midair. Hester tosses him a rope, but Shrike snatches it, nearly dragging the ship down. With seconds to spare, Tom slashes the rope with the knife Hester throws to him, and the airship lifts off, narrowly escaping Shrike's wrath. Once safe in the sky, Anna looks at Hester with emotion in her eyes. She reveals a heartbreaking truth: she once knew Pandora. After Pandora's murder, Anna searched everywhere for Hester, but assumed she had died. Hester tells her story, how she wandered the outlands alone until Shrike found her. He raised her, protected her in his own strange way. She believes that Shrike still holds on to fragments of his old human self. Once he had a family, long before he was rebuilt as a cold, merciless cyborg bounty hunter. Seeing Hester's sorrow, Shrike had once hoped to make her like himself, a cyborg, free from pain and emotion. At first, Hester agreed, desperate to escape her suffering. But everything changed when she discovered Thaddeus's location. She broke her promise and ran. That betrayal shattered Shrike, and from that moment, he began to hunt her. Meanwhile, Thaddeus returns to London and meets with Herbert, who tells him about an old piece of tech hidden in Tom's office. Thaddeus wastes no time. He storms the museum with his men and rips apart Tom's secret compartment, stealing everything and hauling it to the mysterious abandoned building. Later, Catherine and Bevis arrive at the museum and are stunned to see it raided. Dr. Chudley, Tom's former supervisor, confirms their worst fears: Thaddeus has taken the hidden technology. Then, in a whisper, Chudley reveals a secret stairway leading straight to the building. He warns them darkly, whatever Thaddeus is building ... It's something truly sinister. Elsewhere, Anna brings Hester and Tom to Airhaven, a breathtaking floating city that serves as the heart of the Anti-Traction League. Meanwhile, back in London, Twix informs Thaddeus that everything is ready. She's completed the machine. Thaddeus's eyes gleam with ambition as he declares, "It's time to go east, to Shangguo." At Airhaven, Anna introduces Hester to the League. She reveals that Pandora, before her death, had entrusted Hester to her protection because Hester holds the key to stopping Thaddeus. Though confused, Hester remembers her mother was murdered over a strange piece of tech. Suddenly, everything clicks. Tom realizes the truth: Thaddeus is rebuilding Medusa, the ancient energy weapon. The mysterious device Pandora found must have been its computer core. With Thaddeus hoarding fusion inverter cells, it's clear he's planning to unleash Medusa once again, and wipe out anyone in his path. Back in London, Magnus notices something alarming. London is veering off course under Thaddeus's command. Suspecting the worst, he rushes to the abandoned building. Unbeknownst to him, Catherine and Bevis follow secretly, watching the horror unfold. When Magnus enters the building, his jaw drops. Medusa is operational. Horrified, he confronts Thaddeus and demands the weapon be shut down, warning that its power could destroy the planet. But Thaddeus doesn't flinch. He declares that Medusa is the future, the path to world domination. Magnus refuses to back down. But Thaddeus reveals his true betrayal, and with his loyal soldiers at his side, he murders Magnus without mercy. Hidden nearby, Catherine and Bevis watch in shock. Tears in her eyes, Catherine whispers, "He's not my father anymore." The League doesn't wait. They race to warn Shangguo of the looming danger. But before they can act, their power suddenly fails, and Shrike arrives. Armed and unstoppable, Shrike tears through the League's defenses. Bullets and fire bounce off him like sparks. No one can stop him. He's hunting Hester. Wounded but relentless, Shrike finds Hester and Tom. He slams Tom aside and raises his weapon to strike. But Hester screams, "Stop!" She begs him, tears pouring down her face. "I'm the one you want." Shrike pauses. Her eyes are filled with pain, not fear, but love. For Tom, in that heartbreaking moment, he sees the truth: Hester has found love. She's no longer lost. She's no longer broken. With his systems shutting down, Shrike looks at Hester one last time. In a final act of love, he hands her the necklace Pandora once gave her and releases her from the promise she made to him. As Airhaven crumbles around them, Shrike dies, his last memories filled with Hester and the echoes of a life he once lived. Anna swoops in just in time. She rescues Hester and Tom in her airship and flies them to safety. As the mighty city of London barrels toward Shanguo, Governor Khan is urgently briefed by Hester, Tom, and Anna. After hearing of Thaddeus's monstrous plans, Quan is shaken. Though he treasures peace, he reluctantly agrees a preemptive strike must be launched to protect his people. But Tom objects. He pleads that London's innocent citizens Dante deserve to suffer for Thaddeus's crimes. Yet Quan shakes his head gravely. There's no other way. The war begins. Sirens scream across Shanguo. The Anti-Traction League scrambles to arm airships and prepare wall-mounted weapons. Just then, amidst the chaos, Hester uncovers a powerful secret. The necklace her mother gave her contains a crash drive. This tiny device can disable Medusa, the very weapon Thaddeus plans to use to burn the world. Hope ignites. They can stop Thaddeus without destroying London. But just as Hester shares the discovery with Tom, Medusa fires. A terrifying beam blasts through Shangu's shield wall, annihilating part of the city in seconds. Destruction spreads like wildfire. Without hesitation, Anna, Hester, Tom, and the League launch a counterattack. An aerial fleet soars toward London. As they close in, Medusa unleashes a second blast. It barely misses their ships. A brutal air battle erupts. One by one, League members sacrifice themselves, buying precious time for Anna's ship to break through. Despite the heavy losses, Anna, Hester, and Tom finally reach London. In the chaos, Anna entrusts Tom with the airship and charges into the lion's den herself. She storms the building where Medusa is housed and comes face to face with Thaddeus. Gun raised, Anna fires, but a loyal worker leaps in front of Thaddeus, taking the bullet. In cold fury, Thaddeus shoots Anna in return. While Thaddeus is distracted battling Anna, Hester sneaks into the control room of Medusa. Her hands trembling, she slams the crash drive into the system, overriding the weapon's commands. Medusa powers up, preparing to fire again, but suddenly the override kicks in. The weapon begins to shut down. Thaddeus's twisted plan collapses before his eyes. Enraged, Thaddeus delivers one last brutal act. He stabs Anna. Bleeding and fading fast, Anna locks eyes with him and whispers, "It's over." Crushed and furious, Thaddeus stumbles outside only to find Catherine waiting for him. Her face is full of rage. She confronts him head-on, spitting accusations he's destroyed lives in the name of protecting London, but it was always about power. Meanwhile, chaos erupts inside London's command center. Thaddeus' loyal men hijack the systems and set the city on a direct collision course with Shanguo's shield wall. Desperate, Catherine dashes to the control deck. But the brakes are jammed. Nothing's responding. From aboard Anna's airship, Tom radios Catherine with an urgent plan. She rushes to follow his instructions, flinging open the massive engine gates, giving Tom a clear flight path into London's heart. With laser focus, he swoops in to target the city's engine. Meanwhile, Hester tracks down Thaddeus, cornering him at gunpoint. But then he drops a bombshell. "I'm your father." Stunned, Hester freezes for a moment, and in that split second, Thaddeus lunges at her, knocking the weapon from her hand and gaining the upper hand. But just then, the ground rumbles violently. Tom's attack is shaking the entire city. Hester seizes the moment and tackles Thaddeus with all her strength. He snarls, wrapping his hands around her throat, daring her to end him. "Do it," he hisses, but Hester stands firm. She drops her knife, refusing to become the monster he is. With all her strength, she breaks free and leaps from the building, landing safely onto Tom's airship just in time. Tom takes the shot. He fires at London's engine and the colossal machine collapses. The city screeches and groans as it crashes to a halt, barely missing the shield wall. Thaddeus survives the wreck, but fate has the last word. The city's crushing wheels roll over him, ending his twisted ambitions forever. At sunrise, the stunned survivors of London climb the rubble of the wall. Shangu's guards stand waiting. Instead of turning them away, Governor Quan welcomes them with open arms, offering a fresh start and a second chance. Back aboard Anna's airship, Tom and Hester look ahead to the future. Tom smiles and says, Let's explore the world. Just like your mother once did. Hester beams, let's do it. She says, ready to begin a brand new chapter together.